Day 2 in the books, fired up to get another day in. The good Lord loves the Eagles. It was supposed to rain and it didn't. And, man, just fired up to go out there again and improve. Another day of installation. Thought we saw a really big step forward in Trey Lowe and his decision making. Made a lot of good decisions today. Obviously, that's good to see. If you're good at quarterback, then obviously you got a chance to have a good football team. Pleased with the overall energy level, and saw some big plays back there on the back end. Our DB's got some hands on the ball. Of course, Jason Brownlee made some plays, and without watching the tape, don't want to single anything out. Just excited to get another day of install in, to get another day of our culture built, and excited too to be able to put shoulder pads on Saturday. So with that, I'll open it up.
Coach, was T. Webb able to get out there today?
He was out there. He was, and he was functioning, getting used to the speed in which how we do things, and he made some really nice throws and some good decisions. He also did some things he's got to improve on, as we know, and he didn't get to have that day one to knock all the rust off like everybody else did, so he had to knock a little bit off. But T's talented, and he's a great kid from a great family, so we think the future's bright for him.
Coach, have you started? You've been with the team a couple of months now, and got some last season into season practice. Do you have a sense that you're starting to see like who the leaders are of this team when you're talking about culture at this point?
Yeah, Will Hall is, Austin Armstrong is, and the rest of this staff. You know what I'm saying? We're the leaders. All right. And we're going to remain the leaders until these kids are taught to do it how we're going to do it. Just like in your household. You know what I'm saying, Heath? The kids don't become leading their own house until you've raised them and they know exactly how it's supposed to be done. So right now, we're the leaders. Lance Ankar is for sure a leader. We are showing these kids how we want this program to do it every single day. All right. And when we feel like that has been defined to the T, we'll hand that off to the rest of them. I think we've got some really good candidates. I'm excited about it, but man, it's too early to hand that over right now. So these coaches are the leaders right now.
Coach, I know you had a chance to see Trey Lowe start that final game of the season. Just kind of going back and what he has to offer, what do you think Trey could kind of bring to this offense for your system?
Well, let's just start with who he is. If we walked in today and said, hey, we just signed a quarterback whose granddaddy was a former all-time great at Alabama, whose daddy is a high school football coach, has been very successful, whose mom's a very successful news anchor in Memphis. All right. He was the number 19 rated dual threat quarterback in America. He's a great kid. It's a really hard worker. That's about 6'3", 225 and got a great arm. We'd all be going, man, what a great signee. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we got to work with here. And man, he has done nothing since day one but lead in the right way. He doesn't talk until he's earned the right to. He's one of the leaders in our off-season conditioning drills in the weight room. The kids have a lot of respect for him. He came into a really tough situation last year trying to learn a new scheme in fall camp. I thought he finished the year strong and has been one of the MVPs of our off-season program with how he's worked.
Hey, Coach, I wanted to ask how many guys from your recruiting class, and you mentioned T was one of them, are actually out there this spring, and maybe what sort of advantage that provides them getting in a few months early and learning, your system and everything.
Yeah, so T Webb's out there, Lakevius Daniel, Jay Stanley, and man, I don't want to forget anybody. J Rob, the young wide receiver from Petal, is out there. Montre Edwards is not out there yet because of some health issues we're dealing with. Okay, but yeah, it's an advantage, that they're getting to go ahead and knock the rust off and learn the language, right? The biggest advantage of being here is learning to speak how we speak. Just like all of us on this deal right here, we're all really good at eating cheeseburgers, right? You can tell by looking at us. All right, but if you drop us off in China, I can't even order a cheeseburger because I don't know the language. All right, so getting them here and helping them learn how to speak the language is the first barrier you have to overcome. So all of them are getting a head start on that and getting them where they can all order cheeseburgers the way we do it.
Coach, you don't drink Red Bull or nothing? Are you all natural?
I'm all natural, man. I'm high on life, high on the good Lord, and I'm blessed. I live life every day, living a dream. You know, the good Lord's blessed me with so much. Patrick, you know that. I've had a great life. I've got a great wife. And shoot, man, I'm the head coach of one of the greatest programs in the history of this great game. So you can't get no happier than I am.
What kind of energy did you see in the practice today? In day two?
It was good, Patrick. You know, it was a little bit less than day one, but that's the way it is every time, right? You know, just like Christmas morning, you rip that first present open with a little more vigor than you do present 6, if you're blessed enough to have 6. You know what I'm saying? And early on, there was a little less energy, but we got it going. I thought we had some kids that really showed leaders like Khalid Washington had a lot of juice and energy. Saw that. We had some guys on defense really pushing people, and I thought it really picked up as the competition got going. I expect we'll have a lot come Saturday when you put the pads on and get to play real football.
I think early on y'all made a decision to move Arvin to center. What made y'all really kind of buy into that idea and move him to center?
Yeah, okay. Experience, really great understanding of the overall game of football, tough guy, good athleticism, really long arms. So the ability to move him from tackle on the edge to put him in space where he can use his mind and his brain and his quickness, we think it's going to allow him to go from being a really good college football player to potentially making a little bit of money playing football. We want to be good from the inside out, just like baseball, right? Catcher to pitcher to shortstop to center field. We want to, hey man, if you're not very good at center, it gets real dicey quick. You know what I mean? So we want to put our bell cow right there and let him work.
Coach, who are some guys that maybe talked about this before? Who are some guys that you're looking at to maybe step out there at that tackle? Some people you're working in over there where you're bringing Arvin in.
Yeah, so at left tackle today, Trey Johnson started, and right tackle, Khalid Washington started. They've shown really good athleticism. They started several games over their career. They're big, long. They've had a great offseason. And behind them has been Tanner Hathorn and Paul Gaynor Jr. and also Matt Riles. So we're working to build depth. And those kids have done nothing but everything Ancar's asked them to do in the off season. And I don't want to comment on how they're doing football-wise because we ain't got pads on. You know what I mean? And like I said, you can convince yourself of anything when you're out there with not pads on. You can convince yourself of good and bad. We'll see on Saturday. But I do like their attitude. I like the skill sets they have to work with. And so we'll keep going from there.
How do you feel the mental aspect is with the team? Are you feeling like everything's being picked up pretty well? And from that side of things?
I do. You know, Heath, I mean, we've thrown a lot of football at them. You know, I think Tyler Barnes is coming up here next, and he'll tell you, man, we've thrown a lot of ball at them. I mean, this has been football school now. We do a lot of stuff. We have a humongous toolbox in all phases because we want to be able to use whatever tools we need to be successful. We're not a team that just throws it every down or runs it every down or has to run power schemes or has to play man on defense. We teach everything, and then we become whatever our kids can do. Just like, you know, if you're building a fence, you need a post hole digger and some hammer and some nails, you know, but you don't need a leaf blower. But it's good to have a leaf blower whenever you need to blow off the driveway. You know what I'm saying? So we want to have a lot of tools for whatever job we need to do.
Coach, at running back, it looks like a group that's a little bit on the smaller side. Just looking at the guys y'all had at Tulane, those guys had a little pop to them. What do you want to see out of that group this spring and as y'all go along and really install the ground game?
Yeah, so at running back, Patrick, it's a unique position to where, like, if you ever study Bill Parcells and the whole way they mapped out scouting from Parcells down through the Belichick tree and all that, they always said that running back is the one position that you never put a size parameter on because you just look at production. Because, you know, for every Barry Sanders, there's a Jim Brown. You know what I mean? For every Dave Meggett, there's a Christian Okoye. You know what I'm saying? So what we look for is production. Can you make the first guy miss? People do it different ways. Some people make them miss. Some people stiff arm them. Some people run fast and run around them. So size is not like a prerequisite for us. It's just about production. We do have a bunch of little guys that can move, but you know, one of them was highly productive last year, and we got some other guys in the room that are doing everything we ask right now. We're excited about moving Antavius Willis there. We think he gives us some dynamic ability there as well. And you know, we're just going to keep working with them and go.